Yo guys, welcome back to the Golden Moth Wasps, and today I'm gonna teach you how to build a stadium in Minecraft. I'm no professional builder, but you can use this if you're a beginner, or if you just want to know how I built a stadium in Minecraft. So yeah, the first things you're gonna need are some stairs. You can choose whatever you want, but I prefer stone brick for my stadium. And then the next thing you want is some smooth stone. Some stone brick. That's the best thing. And some wood planks. They can be whichever kind you want, but for this I'm going to use oak. And this is going to be the basis of our stadium. And then aside from that, I'm going to make it a soccer stadium. You can make it whatever you want, so I'm going to build a field in the middle. So you're going to have white concrete. Gonna need cobwebs. If you're gonna build a soccer stadium, you can build whatever you want, but this is gonna be a soccer stadium. And then okay. So the first thing you want to do, right, when building your stadium is build the middle of your stadium, and you want to build it far from stuff so you can have space to build. But you want to build the middle of your stadium. In my case, it's a soccer field. So whatever you're putting in your stadium is just fine. If you're building like a fighting arena, you can do that. Or if you're building like a football field, basketball court, whatever you want to do, just put that in the middle. So my soccer field's not going to be very big, because it's just an example. So the first thing you want to do, right, when building your stadium is build the middle of your stadium, and you want to build it far from stuff so you can have space to build. But you want to build the middle of your stadium. In my case, it's a soccer field. So whatever you're putting in your stadium is just fine. If you're building like a fighting arena, you can do that. Or if you're building like a football field, basketball court, whatever you want to do, just put that in the middle. So my soccer field's not going to be very big, because it's just an example. Okay, so for my example, this is a tutorial. And so I'm gonna tell you how to build a soccer field if you want to build one of these. Okay, so this is 4 blocks out. You go 14 blocks out from your middle line that you just built. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And then you do that on both sides. And you can also build this line that connects them. You can use carpet, or you can dig into the ground and use wool. I prefer carpet. I think it looks nicer. And so yeah, this is going to be our soccer field. You don't have to build a soccer field. Again, you can put whatever you want here, but I will teach you how to build a soccer field if you want to build. This is a small soccer field. Obviously, there are bigger ones that look nicer than this. This is just an example. Okay, so Now that you have that, we're going to build the goals. So these are 4 blocks apart, and they'll be in line with these, with the middle circle, the center circle. You want to leave 4 blocks of space in between these, and this will be a goal. And you'll build these on both sides. And then you want to place cobwebs going all around the back. And then you want to place 2 cobwebs up, like so. And then you want to place 1 line of cobwebs all across the bottom. And then in this middle cobweb block right here, you want to build a cross to connect it, and that's 1 goal. So I've done that on one side, and now I'm going to do it on the other side. So cobwebs all along the sides. And then 2 up. Then a line. And then 1 in this middle. So that's nice. And we've got our 2 goals. The next thing we're going to build is the boxes. And this is what goes around the goal. So leave 2 blocks, and then place 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this on the other side. And then connect them. And that's 1 box, but then we're going to have this little circle around that edge. So that's 1 box. And the others over here. Again, you're gonna go 2 from the sideline and just build 4 out. And then go across, 4 out. And then the same circle here. Okay, so now that we've got all the markings done, we're gonna make the field look nice with this nice little pattern here. So we're basically gonna go alternating from green to lime carpet for this soccer field. So I'm just gonna leave a space, and I'll time-lapse this part, so you guys won't have to see me do all this, but just fill them in with alternating designs. You can fill in whatever designs you want on the field. I think this is the most standard one, so yeah, I'll time-lapse this part. Okay, so I finished the design, and I think that looks pretty awesome. Looks a lot like a soccer field. Okay, so now that we're done with the actual field, the next thing we're going to do is build the places where the players come out of. And obviously, whatever you're doing this, whether it be like a fighting thing or any sort of sport, an arena or whatever you want to do, is going to be the places where you get into the arena, where you can go inside the middle of the stadium. And so we're going to be working on that right now. That's what we need our wood for, but I'm going to build benches because this is a soccer stadium. But obviously you don't have to do that if you're building some other sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to build benches. Okay. So if you're going to build benches, if you're building a soccer field, then I just recommend building them like 2 blocks away from field, Just making them like 6 blocks long or something like that. And then put signs on the side. Leave a space in the middle. Sure, because if you're building a soccer field. Okay. Okay, so now we have the benches. And basically what we're going to do is build a tunnel that leads to where you can basically access the inside of the stadium. You can do this with whatever kind of stadium you're making. And for the benches, if you're building a soccer stadium or any kind of benches, then I recommend this design for them. I'm going to use blue stained glass and white stained glass. You can use whatever colors you want for this. But, yeah. So we're basically just gonna lay it in patterns like this and put it over the top. And it's a kind of cool design that just makes it look more modern, I guess you could say. Or just better looking in general. So there you go. In my opinion, it looks pretty good. So yeah, this is like the bench where the players sit. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Just basically put it like that and then build up. So there you go. We got these 2 benches, they look pretty good. And now we're basically gonna build a wall around this entire thing, but we're gonna leave a space. Okay. So, we're gonna build a big wall, and there's gonna be a space right here for the tunnel, where the players come out of. So yeah, then you wanna build that up to as tall as you have these. Unless you don't have them, then you can make it as high as you want. Or as low as you want. That's just basically where the stadium start, where the seats start, and where the inside ends. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're just gonna basically lay around a wall around this whole thing. I'll time lapse it, but yeah, just do this. Okay, so once you finish the wall around your stadium, we're gonna begin work on the tunnel, and then we're gonna basically do everything else from there. So the tunnel is pretty easy. You just, you know, make a tunnel. But for the inside, I'm not gonna use wood. I'm going to use smooth stone. This is gonna be kind of our material for the inside of the stadium. There's not gonna be a lot of things inside of it, but it's going to be for like the entrances for the fans, and then obviously for this tunnel. And since this is a soccer stadium, we can make 2 team rooms on either side. where the teams prepare for the game. And then there'll be a exit to a parking lot. But we don't know how long to make this tunnel yet, because I kind of just go by however many layers I want to put on the stadium, depending on how big I want it to be. So we'll make it that long for now. Okay, so then you can get any kind of door you want. These look good. Yeah, I think these will look probably best. Yeah. Okay, and then we're also going to get slab and chest. Okay. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna build it on either side, so it's gonna be 2 team rooms. Okay. So, when you it's gonna be kind of small, but yeah, when you enter, it's gonna be like 2 benches. Okay, it's good. And over here, we'll have lockers where players can keep their cleats and uniforms and all that stuff. Obviously, you can do it this sort of you can change the interior of the stadium based on whatever you're building. If you're building a soccer stadium like me, then you're fine to keep it like this. And these lockers can be however small you want. I'm just putting like 1 chest in there, and that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna close off the rest of this and get my chest and put it in there. Okay, so that's 1, and then we'll just build a couple of these. And we can put it 1 block from each other, that's fine. And I'll fill in this top, it'll help us later, but you'll see later. Okay, and then we'll have 1 on this far side. Copy that onto the other side, and it'll be just fine. And yeah, it's gonna look nice. So we're gonna make it 2 away from these. Nice. I'm gonna put a chest behind each one. Then we're gonna just throw it. and you put a roof on. And then the lighting in this room is going to be a bit different. So we're going to use end rods to make it look kind of cool. So I'm going to swap out sign because we're probably not going to use that for a while. Okay. So now you get your end rod, and we're basically just going to make like a light fixture on the ceiling. Okay. Let's build this one block out so we can make it look better. Okay, so that's a nice light fixture. Looks like one of those that you might see. So yeah, that's one team, and here's the other team room. And all we're gonna do is just basically do the exact same thing on the other side. I'll time-lapse this one since we already did one. Okay, so I finished both of them, both sides. And yeah, so these are done. And now we're basically gonna start working on the stadium. And that's it. So yeah, there's not much you need to do when building the stadium except for the number one thing you gotta remember is always keep buildings building a layer below it so you can keep adding on layer. If you know what I mean, you always have something to build on. And it doesn't matter if there's nothing in there. I have it on peaceful so no mobs will be spawning in there. If you're building this in survival, you might want to light that up so no mobs spawn in there. But I couldn't imagine building this in survival. So yeah, I'm going to fill in all these blocks for like, I'm gonna fill in all the blocks, as many blocks out as the tunnel, and then I'll time-lapse this part, or yeah, I'll time-lapse it. Okay, guys, I've just finished this and it took forever. So yeah, this is basically just gonna allow us to start doing this seats. Yeah, let me set the time today real quick. Okay, and now we can begin. So the first thing you want to do is you can get a fence or glass pane, and either one is fine. I, to be honest, prefer the glass pane. I think those look better, and the white stained is always a good option. I think these look better, but you can use whichever one you want for guardrails. I'm gonna use glass panes. You can use fences. You can use whatever you want. It's basically just to separate the fans from the middle of the stadium. Which again, you can make that whatever you want. Soccer field or whatever. Okay, so now you should have a guardrail. And then get whatever you're gonna use for the seats, and this is when we start building the stands, putting in the seats. So, it's just going to be basically this. We just add in a layer of seats. These can be whatever you want them to be made out of. And then when you get to a corner, you're going to want to obviously just turn it around and you're good. And this is how we can build these. Okay, if you make mistakes along the way, you can go back and fix them. So now we have one layer of seats for our stands. So eventually, after we go up a few layers, we're also going to add something, but you can see about that after. So I'm going to use stone bricks to do this. Add basically a layer of stone bricks. And then you add a layer. So add a layer of stone bricks around. If this will work. And again, whatever mistakes you make, you can go back and fix them. Okay, yeah, this is a lot of mistakes. But, we're just going to create this layer. And this is going to be where we put the next layer on. So, yeah, then you just basically add another layer of seats. Okay, so yeah, you're basically just gonna continue going up this process for three more of these, and then once you get to that, there's another thing we're going to do for the stadium. But yeah, I'm gonna time-lapse this part, just go 3 more layers up, and yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, that took a while, but hopefully you've gotten 3 more layers up on your stands. And now we're gonna add something where the fans can basically enter the stadium. And I like this design. So it's gonna be in the opposite side of the tunnel that we built. It's going to be up here. So basically what you're gonna do, we're gonna use smooth stone because that's the interior of the stadium. So we're gonna try and line it up with the tunnel. So it's on this block, and it's 3 wide. Right, so it's right here. Okay, so now you have that. And basically what you're going to do is just, make it a tunnel. And this is where the fans can enter and exit the stands. And I like that design a bit. I think it looks pretty cool among all this. But basically, we're going to go until we can go down. Which, yeah, is probably gonna be around here. We're just going to start going down, and we're just going to continue this out until we reach the bottom, where there will be a parking lot on the exit. Okay, so then we're just going to build the outside of this around it. Okay, now that we've reached the bottom, we're going to make an entrance like this, like so. And then in the middle, we're going to put a glass block. And again, I'm going to use white stained glass, because that's one of my favorite kinds. And then you could fill in the rest of this as you please, and get that filled in. And boom. And you know, if you want to add some more detail, you can do this. Glass on top. There you go. And okay, now that we've reached the bottom, we're going to make an entrance like this, like so. And then in the middle, we're going to put a glass block. And again, I'm going to use white stained glass, because that's one of my favorite kinds. And then you could fill in the rest of this as you please, and get that filled in. And boom. And you know, if you want to add some more detail, you can do this. Glass on top. There you go. And now you've got a nice way for the fans to enter the stands. Okay, so basically we're just going to continue this stand pattern until the top, and then we're going to add some more details, and then, yeah, then this thing will probably be finished. So, yeah. We're almost finished with it, almost done with this. It was kind of a lot. Because obviously it needs something to hold it up. These bats are being annoying, but yeah, that's just bats. I'm gonna make these thick supports in the corner, and this will make it look more realistic. You can turn off mob spawning on the world if you want to get rid of bats, because they're really annoying and they're just gonna be everywhere if you're doing it on a flat world. If you're doing it in like an infinite world, I suggest finding a good flat place to build it, because it's pretty humongous. It's absolutely massive. This took a lot longer than I expected. It's quite a commitment to build this thing. It takes a while, but when you're done with it, it looks good. I'm no pro builder, but okay, so what have we done today? Well, we've created this beautiful outline, which has helped us make a very nice looking modern stadium design. The interior is amazing. It has all these rows of stands, a nice glass rail, and then this pathway which will lead you down to the exit, which is a nice parking lot. And then obviously is the main event of this place, which is the soccer field, which has subs benches with nice glass and 2 goals and a nice field design that I really like. And on either side of here is a team room where they get ready for the game. And there's 2 of these for both teams. And then outside is a Lamborghini. I know it doesn't really look like a Lamborghini, but it's really compact. And you could build it bigger if you wanted to expand parking lots and make bigger cars. But yeah, this is our completed stadium, and I do say so myself, it looks pretty amazing. And yeah. That's all for me. That's all for the Golden Moth Wasps. I will see you guys in the next one.